So Caesar, I made you co-host. So when the presentation begins in a minute, if somebody else joins, you can just let them in, okay?
All right, sounds good. Thank
All righty. So we're going to go ahead and get started because I have a lot of exciting stuff to share tonight, and I want to make sure that we have ample time to talk about this really wonderful program that I'm so honored to work with the Prince George's County Economic Development Corporation to help Maryland business owners and to help folks like you with your business. So I'm very honored and thanking them for giving me the opportunity to do this. So welcome to the Small Business Series course that is sponsored by the Prince George's County Economic Development Corporation. And we want to welcome you to, just explore the opportunity of what this program has to offer for you and to see what other type of support that ALSTNTEC, which is my company, along with PGC, EDC, that can help you out. And so this is a very informal presentation. So if you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to either raise your hand or to come off mute and be able to ask your question. And we'll be happy to answer any questions you have. And if it's something that we're not able to answer, like right about now, we will definitely get the answer and get it back to you. This whole entire information session is a prerequisite for participating in the class because we want to make sure that you understand everything that is encompassing in this class, all the benefits and everything that's going to come with it. And we want to make sure everybody's comfortable with the time schedule. So we're going to go over all of those things tonight. And also, if I'm speaking too fast or if I'm saying anything that's a little bit confusing, please do not hesitate to ask a question. I really would love to know whether or not things are coming across clear and to just make sure everybody has a really good understanding about what this class is really going to be offering. So we're going to go ahead and get started, okay? So let me go ahead and switch to my other screen. All right, so just starting off the gate, Prince George's County Economic Development Corporation has been around for a very long time. And as you can see on the screen, they've been around for like 40 years. And throughout those 40 years, they have really tried hard to work with so many people as far as their business concerned on so many different levels, from incubator program to trying to help start a business to just general counseling and things like that. The wonderful person who I'm working with, which is Caesar Kukufate, he is actually on here tonight from Prince George's County Economic Development Center. And I'm going to give him an opportunity to really talk about his program and what it is that he does specifically that's going to help all of you. So, Caesar, I'll turn that over to you.
All right, thank you. And excuse the beeping in the back, you guys. I am just getting off the road, but I am Cesar Cucufate. I'm small business developer.
Uh-oh.
I Can you
Thought we
guys hear me?
lost you. Yeah, I
Okay,
did. Go
okay.
ahead. I thought we lost you.
There we go. There we go. So I'm small business development manager over at the EDC. You said my program. No, this is our program. Shouts out to Miss Ann. Yo, this is phenomenal. This will be the second cohort. Um, And just to give you guys an idea of what we do over at the EDC, I mean, she gave you the overview, but our objective is to help any entrepreneurs in Prince George's County or moving to Prince George's County, succeed in their business and help them, grow. And part of that is putting on programming for our residents. And this is what came about. It's been a phenomenal program so far. And yeah, no, I appreciate you letting me get an introduction in. I will be leaving my information in the chat in case anybody has any questions they want to direct to me. But Miss Ann is the star of the show, and I will let her continue. Thank you very much.
All righty. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, one of the benefits, or matter of fact, three of the benefits that I have here on the screen is primarily to incentivize and grow our small business minority community. So, just investing in a small business like myself gives me the opportunity to invest in you guys, to invest my knowledge, skills, and all of the things that I've learned as a small business and still a small business, I get to share with all of you. And so, because of that, we get to strengthen our economy. We get to grow in a community where we actually can thrive as a business, the way that business is supposed to be in general. We all call it side hustles, or I'm going to do my second 9 to 5, or something like that, however you want to call it, whatever it means to you. We want you to feel that what you're doing in the community for your business matters. Okay, so that's why this program exists. That's why I created it, because I felt like as a small business that we did not measure up to other businesses that were already out there and well established. Well, we do just as much work as the bigger businesses. So this program is designed to give you all of the tools from nuts to bolts, from A to Z, so that you understand, one, what you're getting yourself into and how you can help the small business community and how you can work with each other to help grow the small business community, because small business community need each other in order to thrive and grow and make money and relationships and actually really become a fixated part of the neighborhood. And that is what we desperately need right now. Okay, so that's why this program is with the EDC, and I'm just so happy that they gave me the opportunity to do this. Okay. So next slide is just to introduce myself. So my name is Ann Alston, and I'm the CEO founder of ALSTNTEC. I have been running this business really sincerely since 2015. In 2005, I actually changed the name to ALSTNTEC because I was doing a sole proprietorship. I was doing IT. That is my other core background. I do information technology, project management, and also cybersecurity. And so, with my IT background, that kind of introduced me into this world of career and business. And so, for the past 25 years, I've worked with so many people on so many levels, just understanding their position, learning from them, and then taking that experience and applying it to mine, and then using my experience to pay it forward for other businesses. And because of that, I was able to create this course. It is the only course in DC, Maryland, and Virginia, and probably some other areas of the world that primarily focuses on small businesses and teach them in a way that you're starting your business right the first time, not wasting time, not wasting money going back. You're actually doing everything in order the right way. And so, because of my efforts, I partnered with so many people, so many businesses to go out there and speak about small business and also career transition, which is where you're taking your skills and transitioning them to not just a small business, but also other areas in the career field. And so that's pretty much who I am as a person. I'm also a wife. I have 4 sons. Thank goodness they're grown. I'm an empty nester. They're sort of gone. And I'm just living life and enjoying everything that's happening. So if you would like to follow me on LinkedIn and Facebook, please do. I will welcome the connection with you. So if you can just follow me, that'd be great. And I'll be happy to follow you back. So this is just a snapshot of what our accomplishments were over the last, decade of years, 10 years or more, since 2005, as I talked about before. And as you can see that I'm still really a small business, just like most of you. I am still wanting to be a bigger business, but I just love being a small business because I have more control of what I want to do. I still get fulfillment of how I want to live my life. And, your small business can be as fast as you want it to be, big as you want it to be, or small as you want it to be. And I think I have mine set at a really, really nice pace. And it's been consistent for me for all this time. So I'm hoping to show you guys the same way or same thing so that you can have the same experience. But these are some of the different challenges, and these are some of the different overcome, I would call them overcoming milestones that I had over the years, and being able to be blessed to meet so many people who participated in my programs, or have come to the events, or have even taken the knowledge that they've gotten from these experiences and also pass it on to other small businesses. So hopefully you guys will join me in that, because I would love to, meet with you, get to know you, and also grow with you, right? So that's really what it's all about. If you guys are interested in hearing what the other students have to say, I do have a couple videos. I don't have all the testimonies from all the students, but I did pick out a few that I have on my website. You're welcome to go to my website and listen to what they have to say. And they are very transparent about their experience. And we hope that you join the class and have the same. Also, because as Caesar said, we are just finishing up cohort one. They are going to actually graduate next Monday and Tuesday when they do their final presentations. So congratulate them. They actually did it. They went through all 10 weeks and we didn't really lose anyone. Everyone kind of, just went through it and they really enjoyed the class. So we will be having an alumni program coming soon so that we can bring back and actually converse. We can have networking meetings. We can refer resources and things like that. So that's one of the things that people have been calling on. And I was actually planning to do that before COVID. So I get a chance to have this alumni. So that's going to be awesome, right? Yeah, absolutely. So before we get into the nuts and bolts of the course, I want to share with you some of the key dates that you need to know right now, okay? Because this is going to depend on your schedule. And this is something that is not a general class where you just kind of come to class and taking notes. There's going to be some little bit of work involved. And so my job today is to be very transparent about the expectations of this class so that you can make an informed decision if you would like to take the next step to register for this class. And I'm going to give you guys all the requirements. So let's start with this screen right here. So right now we are in the second cohort phase, which will start in February and end in April. It is a 10-week class. Every Monday, we're going to meet for 10 whole weeks. If you're in this class and you signed up for the Q&A, you are eligible to sign up to participate or to be interviewed. There's also a process, there's a whole process because we only have 16 seats for this class. And anyone that is not selected for this class will be put on the waiting list for first dibs for the next cohort coming up. So if you don't get in this class, please do not get upset. We are working on talking about having more classes. So just make sure that you follow the instructions so that you do not get missed in this whole process. Okay. You don't want to do that. So I see that someone's joining back in. So let me make sure they're back in. Okay. So if you are interested in the class, and I'm going to show this slide again at the end, so if you miss anything, don't worry because it's coming back. If you're interested, after you see everything that's going on and you are interested in this class, you're going to go to my website, you're going to go to our services, and you're going to click on the ALSTNTEC PGC EDC student registration. That is the official registration to say, yes, definitely, I am here. I want to be interviewed. I want to be in this class. There is a process for the interview, and I'm going to get into that. Okay, if you have any questions about the application or you still have questions before you fill out the application, you're welcome to reach out to Caesar Kukafe, or you can reach out to me. It's mostly my form, but you can reach out to either one of us, and our contact information is right here on the screen, and we will make sure you have not only this or and all that. And yes, Miss Miko, the class is every Monday, once a week, and I'm going to give you all the details about that. So this is just the first part of the requirement. This is the form. Now, in order to be in this class, you have to be a US citizen. And the reason is because I am not licensed to do business outside of the US. Okay. So it's not because of the stuff that's going on with administration or any of that. I'm also a federal worker. So there's only certain things that I can do with my security clearance. So for my security clearance, I am only allowed to teach businesses in the United States of America. Okay. So you could be anywhere in the United States, but I primarily focus on Maryland, but you can be in the United States. For this program, we're focused on people who live in Maryland and primarily in Prince George's County. But if you happen to be outside of Prince George's County, and there's a seat available because you just happen to fill out the form and you happen to be interviewed and there's a seat available, we're going to put you in that seat. Okay. So don't think that because you're in DC or Virginia that you're excluded. You're not excluded. Okay. You also have to complete that application that I just told you about in the previous screen. That is your official say to me and Caesar that you want to be in this class. Okay. Now, in order to do this class, you have to be very committed. Okay, I'm not going to kid you. This is an accelerated course. This is more like a course that you will see in any college institution. There's going to be homework assignments, which I'm going to talk about, all the requirements, the timetable, all of that. But you have to be able to attend all 10 weeks. I cannot stress that enough. There is a reason why you need to attend all 10 weeks. And I'm going to show you why you have to attend all 2 weeks. Okay. It's very critical. You will miss so much information if you just miss one class. Just one moment, let someone in. So just really consider that when you're going through this presentation. And again, we're going to, any questions you have, just put in the chat or you'll take yourself off mute. We'll answer it. Okay. Now, for this process, we must have your application in by February the 6th. Okay. I mean, we have to, yeah, we have to have your completed application, which is that application I pointed to you on the other screen. It needs to be in by February 6th. We're going to be making selections the following week, which means that every person who has filled out an application, me and Austin, I'm going to call you personally. I'm going to speak with you personally. I would love to know, really, is this class going to help you or is it not going to help you? Do we need to point you to a different resource? Do we need to provide you with a different type of class? Or get you some other type of help, because we want to make sure that you're getting the best out of this class. Okay. And if you can't meet the requirements of the class, we will find resources to still help you. We are not going to just drop you because you didn't get in a class. Our job is to find the resources so that you can still move forward. Okay. So make sure that after this thing, if you are serious about the class, that you have your application in no later than February 6th. After that, we're going to make selections. And this is a typo. We didn't mean November 7th. We meant to change that to February the 10th or the 12th. I think it's the 12th that everybody's going to get email about the selections. And then a Google Classroom link is going to be sent to you so that you can actually enter the okay, yeah, so that you can actually enter the actual Google Classroom. And I'm going to get more into that as well. Okay. Now, if you've already been interviewed, I know, Tamiko, you've already been interviewed, and the answer is yes. And if you decide you wanted to come back to this Q&A to hear it all again, yeah, you're going to hear it all again. But if you've already been interviewed by me and you're in this Q&A and you've already been accepted by me, then, and you've already reconfirmed with me and you spoke to me on the phone and say, hey, Ann, yes, the holiday is over, I still want to be in a class, then you do have a seat. Okay. So I'm not taking away anyone's seat. As long as you be in communication, and communication is the number one thing that has to happen in this class. And I'm going to explain those reasons. Okay. So you're going to see this slide again, so no worries. Now, for the course schedule, it's going to go pretty much like this. So every Monday, February 16th, starting February 16th on the Monday, once a week, we're going to meet for 3 hours, maybe 3.5 hours, depending on what's going on. It's going to be via Zoom, so you don't have to drive anywhere unless you're just going home. So we are asking everyone to show up and be ready to work on time. There is so much information that we're going to be covering in these 10 weeks. It's highly accelerated. And we're going to have special presentations. We're going to have expert presenters on some nights. And there is detailed information regarding your homework assignment that I'm going to explain to you guys on how to do, right? If you are new to starting a business, like brand new starting a business, and you have not got your EIN and you have not got your business name, please do not run out there and start getting this stuff in your name without being in this class. Okay. If you already have a business and you already have an EIN and all that kind of stuff, and you are struggling in your business, then you need to take the class before you move forward. There's a lot of stuff that you need to know in order to do certain things. And maybe what is being shared in the class is what you need. Okay. So those 10 weeks is critical to you. Okay. Now, once the 10 weeks is over, right? Okay, let me see. Okay, I'm told a newbie. I'll follow instructions. That's right. Okay, so at the end of 10 weeks, this is the part also that I have to be very transparent. There is a recorded presentation of you giving a presentation of what you learned in the class, applying your business. Now, with that said, every student who fills out my application will be signing a non-disclosure confidentiality policy, which means that everyone that comes into this class is in a safe space. Nobody is stealing anyone's business idea, or you do not have to share anything about your business if you do not want to. We don't even care if you want to use a fake business while you're in class, but when it comes to the 10-week strategy course, you should be applying everything to your real business. You should be applying everything to your real business plan. And we're going to be talking about the business plan in a little bit. And your whole presentation should reflect things that you learned in the class so that we understand that you understand what you're supposed to do. Okay. So that is one of the things that we gotta do. I am a little bit cold in here, guys. Okay, so I have to turn my little heater up because it's a little chilly in here. Okay, you have to have a computer, okay, in order to join the virtual. That's a given. So you have to have a computer. The most important thing you must have is the ability to get into the Google Classroom through using a Windows machine that you have access to Google Chrome and Google Classroom. All of the coursework that you're going to be getting is in that classroom. You don't need to upload anything. Most of the assignments that you're going to be using is pretty much open and tight. There is nothing that you need to download unless it's the course material and the guide. But as far as these assignments themselves, you just open it up and you just start typing. We're making it very easy for you to just do the assignment, okay? And if you happen to have a Mac, you will need to use Google Chrome if you have a Mac, because it will either disconnect your assignments from the classroom and get lost and I can't see it. And if I can't see it, I can't give you feedback. Or it will do something else crazy where like you can't type in it, you can't submit your stuff, right? And I'm going to talk about how we work around that. You need to be able to be at a space where you have uninterrupted internet. You need to be in a space that is not distracting, because the information that we're sharing is not always recorded. Okay. So not all of the sessions are recorded, but I do point you to certain recordings as a reinforcement of what we learned in the class. So if there's a presentation out there where I may have a specific topic in mind that I want you to learn about, and I had a presenter in the past, but that presenter cannot be here, I will point you to that video. But in the live session where you're talking directly to me, it may not always be recorded. Okay, so I just want you guys to know that. And if it is recorded, then I will let you know, and then everybody will be on camera. Okay, now does anybody have any questions concerning the schedule and the PC requirements at all? And I'll look out for anything in the chat. Yep, it's just good to have, yeah, Tamika, it's good to have like a separate Gmail account and mailbox for this, because you're going to get tons of emails from me posting stuff in the class, you responding to me in the homework assignments, and you'll see a bunch of emails go back and forth between the two of us. So you definitely will have to be able to get emails all the time, and that's one of the things I really strongly suggest that you have a way to get your email. And with that said, if you have a Gmail account where your email is really, really full, I can tell you, if it's full and you go in to open your assignment and you do your assignment and you close it, Google is not going to save it in your drive because your email is full and your Google Drive is full. You will lose your work, okay? And you will have to redo it all. So make sure that you have ample space in your Gmail. And if you use a Yahoo account, just open up a Gmail account just to make your life easier, okay? And keep all that stuff. So the classes are 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Monday, starting February 16th. So every Monday. And homework assignments is due Sunday by midnight the following week. So you have a whole week to work on your stuff. Okay. You can use Outlook. Yes, you can. But just remember that in Google Classroom, it wants you to save your stuff in Google Drive. So every time you open up a document, although it's attached to the classroom, it's going to save a copy of it in your Google Drive. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit more about that too. Okay, those are great questions. Thank you. Also, I want to reiterate, if you are traveling during this class period, okay, and you were within anywhere in the United States, you are perfectly fine to join the Zoom conference, okay? If you are traveling out of the country, even though you're a US citizen and you travel outside of the country, you will not be able to attend the class via Zoom. It is configured that only people coming in from the United States can connect. Okay. And that's because, again, I have a secret clearance. I won't disclose the level, but I am not allowed to go outside the US to teach this class. Okay. For that reason. So the next class session is going to be on as far as the Q&A, Fender, is going to be next week. So everything I'm talking about tonight, I'm going to repeat again on next Wednesday. And that is the last Q&A. And after that, we're looking for all applications to be in no later than February the 6th. Okay. So everybody has that much time. Okay. So now let's get into the nuts and bolts of this class. I know you guys are excited for me to talk about this stuff. So why do people even want to start a business at all, right? What is the why? There are so many reasons why people want to start a business. The number one on the list, we want to make more money. Like everybody wants to make more money. I want to make more money, right? We all do. That brings financial freedom. That brings the ability to say, hey, I can buy whatever I want, or I can save my money for retirement because I'm the boss, right? I am the person making all the decisions. I don't want a 9 to 5 anymore. I want to be the boss and rule the world with my business, right? And that's perfectly fine. Or maybe you want to do a nonprofit organization and you want to help the community, right? You want to fulfill a passion. You want to solve a problem, whatever problem that is, right? There is no wrong or right answer to starting a business. A business is something where you take your skills, knowledge, and abilities and you apply it in a format in which both parties benefit. The customers benefit and you benefit. And you get to have everything you want within that business that you desire, as long as you are putting in the work to do it. That's really all it is. A business is really just that. You can be a huge business and make a huge impact, and you can still be a small business and make a tremendous impact in the community to yourself and to other people. It all depends on your level of work, it all depends on your dedication, and it also depends on your willingness to go out there and do what's necessary for your business and be transparent. And I say that with humility because I had to learn that the hard way, going out there gun ho, trying to be a business owner, and didn't know anything at all about what I was supposed to do until you have the hard knocks and the challenges that they tell you. And then you get slapped on the wrist a couple times and then you go, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm not supposed to run my business like this. I'm supposed to be like this. And this was makes the difference between people who are in business for long periods of time and people who are maybe not doing so well, or maybe people who make millions of dollars and they're huge. But even businesses that make millions of dollars and they're huge got messed up at COVID. Doors got shut because they didn't understand how to further their business. You see? So if you really think about it, all those businesses that had all those stores, now there's brown paper on the doors where they used to exist, and they were paying 10, 15, $20,000 a month for those brick and mortar businesses. But they didn't understand social media, and they didn't understand being versatile enough to be virtual and in person. That is what this class is. So whatever your business is and your why, is going to be what you make of it, right? And that's really the whole core of why this class is, going to be helpful to you. Okay. So I just let somebody else in. Okay. So let's talk about the problem. Okay. So this is something everybody kind of knows about, but I'm just going to put it on the table. So for those who don't know, that most of the time there's 5 reasons why businesses fail in the first place. Okay. One, they only have part of the information, which is the typical go get an EIN, sign up and get a LLC, or try to register in Delaware to get tax break or something like that. And they're getting bits and pieces from different people and different resources, and it's all over the place. It's not cohesive. Okay, that's the first thing. And then when they get into business, they don't even understand the full realization of what they got themselves into. They don't understand what you put your name on. Think about that. You're writing your name to something. Okay, you're obligating yourself to something without understanding the full scope and breadth of what you're doing. Right. And then for the first year, you're struggling. The second year, you're struggling. You may make some money. The third year, you start to get, oh, I'm really not making no money. I think I'm just not going to do anything. And now you're not doing nothing at all. Right. Now you lost money, time, and effort and motivation. So that is the problem that I see all the time. And I can say with firm experience that a lot of the students that come in here have either 1 or 3 of these issues. They're not really making much. It's difficult out here if you don't have the right foundation, right? So what do we do to fix it, right? So the first thing we do is we walk you through understanding the foundation, the scope, and the depth of business operation. What is it going to take for you to make $1? Either you are selling something and making money, or you're selling something and not making money, or you're a nonprofit and you're trying to raise money and nobody's donating. You're just not doing anything, and you're not understanding what you're doing wrong. Or maybe the customer feels like you're doing something that's not catering to them, right? So what does that full scope and depth look like? We want to help you understand what resources you really truly need to just maintain a business, not just run the business, but maintain it for a long haul. Doing this since I would say 1997, really, when I was just going around fixing computers, just doing that, it is hard to maintain your business and to be consistent, right? All the time. You have to constantly evolve and reinvent yourself and really sit back and analyze and really pick apart your weak areas, understand your weak areas and work on those weak areas and transform yourself, right, to something that you can be proud of and say, you know what, I think I'm going to retransform myself, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do it the right way and take the steps to maintain this consistency, right? Because people mindset changes, people who buy, they change. And then we also help you understand the leverage and the power of your brand. Okay. It is more than just throwing a logo and some nice, pretty words up there and saying, hey, here's my logo, here's my brand. What does that really mean to the person who's trying to buy from you, or you want them to buy from you? How are they really thinking and feel about your product or your brand or even your business, and how that all relates together? There is a difference between the three. And then we also want to increase your confidence to work with other small businesses, because my motto is, if you're not working with another business, you're out of business. If you're not communicating with people who can introduce you to new networks and new experiences, you're working in a silo. There is no such thing as, oh, I'm going to do my business and I don't want nobody to take what I got. Hello, there's about 10 million people out there that's doing what you do right now. But how you do it and the way that you do it only belongs to you. right? It only belongs to you. People can try to replicate and duplicate all day, but only you can give the type of service to that customer, which is what makes the niche for your business. Okay. So hopefully that kind of resonates with you guys, right? So the other thing too is operating a business is not hard. This class is an investment. It's an investment because you are investing in yourself at this point. You are ready to do the work and say, you know what? I really want my business to make money. And I am tired of struggling. I want this. I'm not here to blow smoke up anybody. I am not here to give you guys false hope. I'm not even here to kind of say, you know what, if you invest in this business, I guarantee you're going to make some money. That is really up to you guys and what you prepare to do with the information that is shared. Okay. My job is to share the experiences and everything and let you carry from there. So this is an investment, a serious investment. EDC, they are investing, and I kid you not, a lot of money for these people to sit in the seat. So the people who are going to sit in the seat have to be dedicated and ready to work. This is not, let me sit back and do it when I feel like it kind of thing, because running a business, you can't just feel like it, right? You have to actually have the mindset. And that's what we talk about in the class, the mindset of how real business people think and how they're able to keep pushing through and make money. And you need to understand that part in order to even formulate a product or formulate some sort of, a service that you want to provide and articulate that service in a way that people resonate with you and they want to buy from you and they just keep coming back and you want them to keep coming back. So that's the investment that you really want to invest in, right? But in order to do that, you got to understand yourself, right? You got to understand your tone, your personality. You got to understand how you relate to people, how they relate to you, how you think about things, how you say certain words. It is all depends on what you are going to do and what you're not going to do, right? So you got to understand yourself. You got to have time management. Everybody knows what that is. We're going to have to set aside time to run your business. And you got to sacrifice certain things. Maybe that TV program that you've been loving every Monday at 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock. And maybe we're on past 9 o'clock and you're like, well, I gotta go. No, you got to keep going. You got to sacrifice just a little bit, right? He said Kendra Lamar, turn the TV off. That's right. We got to turn the TV off, right? I can tell you it's a big time waster. Or maybe being on TikTok or Instagram, just flipping through all the crazy videos, right? Look, this is something serious. I'm gonna keep saying it all throughout the night. So you gotta be not afraid to ask for help, guys. Okay, I can't tell you how many times people sit back and hoard in these feelings and questions, and they never ask for help. In this class, I will tell you that I am available for you guys to talk to. Okay. It is built into this. Now, some of the benefits you're going to get in this class is not only are you going to have free mentoring every single week, but then there are 2 1-hour free consultations that's built into this class. And if you don't use it, you lose it. Okay. So the rest of the stuff is already self explanatory. You need to be all of these things in order to do in this class. So we're going to move on to the next slide. You got to have an open mind. So this course is a real world education course. This is not informational. We're not just going to throw you some templates and tell you to fill it out. The activities that you're going to do in this class is designed to get you to learn the concepts and actually write a business plan, a proper business plan, something that's going to help you execute your business from start to finish. You can't execute a effective business if you don't even really know what your services is really going to be providing and the value of it. Okay, so that is a very serious thing. I see too many times people say, oh, I'm just going to offer this and I'm just going to offer that, and they're going to like it because some people said they like it. We need you to understand the 360 of it. Okay. We want you to really understand what your concept means. Is it a viable concept? Will you really make money from this business? Excuse me. Will you really be in business for a long time with this specific concept? And if you get to the part of the class where you realize you have to change your whole scope, that's a win because now you're realizing what pieces you're missing. And then you're realizing, you know what, I think I need to change it to a different level, or I need to change the whole scope altogether because I realize I don't have this and this and this. And that is going to save you time, money, effort. Okay. And you don't want to do that. We also want to reduce the number of failed businesses. We don't want businesses going out there, business owners going out there, putting business credit cards and loans in your name, not able to pay it back because you're not getting revenue for your business and you're spending more than gaining, right? We want you to be able to be successful in every little aspect and area of your business. And it takes just a few minutes to just, well, maybe 2 or 3 hours to listen to some information and to really understand what you need to do, right? All right. Now, who is this for? Of course, it's for all of you, right? So it is, if you have a concept, if you've never had a business before, this class is for you. If you have a business and you haven't really done anything with it, you've been kind of like, I started this business because it was something I want to do and I have a passion, but I'm not really sure where to start. And you kind of shelved it for a while. And now you're serious, you really want to get a business, this class is for you. If you are an established business and you've been out there 1 or 2 years and you was kind of winging it a little bit, or you just was doing it and you kind of got a little momentum, but it's kind of off and on a little bit, this class is for you. Okay. It's for anybody who really fits into these modes. We want you to find alternate ways to make money off the same product and service that you're currently offering. We want you to identify the best business opportunity that you can take advantage of to help grow your business, right? We want to help you understand all the different ways you can rediscover yourself with your services. If you will have one thing and you don't understand how you can make that one thing sell 6 different ways, we want to help you be able to identify that, right? And we also, most importantly, we want you to get resources. So in our class, we have specialists that come in who serve as resources, including myself. So you're not doing this by yourself. We want you to walk away with a team that's actually going to help you. And yes, they charge, but rightfully so, because if you was to get this class separately in all these other areas of your life, if you go to a marketing separate, or you go to a lead generation separate, or you go to a business developer separate, it will be thousands and thousands of dollars. But you're getting a fraction of that in this class. One, for free. Two, even if you follow up with them, it's not going to nearly be expensive if you went to whoever by yourself. Okay. So that is something like that that you definitely need to keep in mind, that this course is free. Okay. So yeah. Yeah, Crystal, ramping up business to attract change. What she say? Changing customer market. That's right. So here's some of the features that you're going to have in this class. Okay, first is going to be a live instructor, which is me. Every single Monday, I'm going to be showing up on this camera, talking to you. Okay, and helping you through all of the elements. You're going to have coursework. We're going to give you handouts. We're going to give you so much stuff, right? That you're going to be able to take with you and actually use over and over again, right? We're going to help you draft that business plan, which means that when you put your stuff in the business plan, which is well, I would say about 50% of your grade, I am personally going, I'm the only one, not the experts, not even Caesar from EDC. I am the only one that will see your business plan. I am the only one that will go in there and say, hey, you need to move this section over here. You need to have this over here, and give you actual, really critical feedback. That's what I want to call it. You're going to get critical feedback, important feedback about your business, right? Between me and you. Okay. The whole class is not going to see your business plan. They're not even going to know what grade you're in. They're not even going to know what you turned in, because only you can see your own coursework and only you can see your own grade and effort. Okay. So keep that in mind, that the business plan is going to help you develop and operate your business. Okay. Again, you get 2 free consultation sessions, which is 2 1-hour sessions for free. That's a value of $225 that you don't have to pay for each hour. You also get in class, you get in class mentoring, which means that every week when we have our lecture, you can schedule an appointment with me and I will talk to you for about 15, 20, 30 minutes. And we can talk about anything in your business that you're having trouble with. We'll talk about your homework assignment, where you're stuck. We don't want you to get stuck on your homework assignments, okay? So you can talk to me about, hey, Ann, I need you to clarify this section because I'm just not getting it. I'm not understanding. We will do whatever we have to do. If I have to get on Zoom, we have to do a one-on-one, a special meeting on a Saturday morning, whatever we have to do to get you through to the 10 weeks, that's what we'll do. Okay. And then all the other stuff that comes with it, I talked about earlier before. Okay. So I'm gonna stop right here. Are there any questions so far about what I shared in these last few slides? Any questions at all? You can take yourself off mute if you want to. Okay, give me some thumbs up if you guys tracking and you feeling okay with this stuff so far. Give me some thumbs up. Yay. Woohoo. All right, well, all right, nothing hurt. So I'm gonna keep on going then. Thank you for the love. Thank you. Okay. So these are the topics that we're going to be covering in this course. So I want you to really take a look at this slide right here. First thing we're going to do is cover your business entity and your concept development. This is where we actually take a deep dive and actually ask you some candid questions about your concept. Now, when we ask you about your concept, we're not saying that everybody in the room is saying, hey, this is my concept and we have a big discussion. That's not what this is going to be. This is going to be me giving you a really good comprehensive lecture about concept development. And in your activity, you're going to tell me what your concept is, and we will go back and forth on that, or we'll have a mentoring session about that. So I want you to rest assured that you will not be actively sharing your business ideas or trade secrets within this class. It is totally 100%. I would say 100% as long as people behave and follow the rules, that it is safe space. Okay. So don't fear that you're going to disclose anything that you don't feel like you want to because it's a brand new idea. Okay. We're going to talk about leadership. That's very important. And this role of leadership, we're going to be talking about from a business CEO ownership perspective, not the kind of leadership where you say, oh, I'm a leader or I'm a speaker or I'm just doing leadership stuff. No, we're going to be talking about what that means as you being an owner of an organization. Okay. And how that translates to team building and motivation in order to keep going in your business, to be sustainable with working with people. Okay. This helps you not only with your business internally, but it helps you understand how you can build relationships outside of that. Okay. Then we're going to be actually getting into finance stuff, right? So we were going to be talking about how do you build your credit. There's a lot of talk about, oh, if I go out there and I do all this stuff, I can get me business credit, I can get a business credit card, and I can do all these things. But you have bad credit, or someone tells you, oh, you can get a business credit card without using your credit. We're going to let you know what the real deal is in the streets, okay? We want you to not only be successful financially with your business, we want you to be personally financial successful, okay? We want your credit to be up there so that you can buy anything you want to buy. You don't have to rely on your business if you don't want to because your money is right. So we want to make sure that you are good front and back. Thank you, Crystal. I appreciate that compliment. Thank you. So we also going to be hitting on marketing, branding, sales, lead generation. How do you market? Where do you market? How do you afford to market? Because it's expensive trying to market stuff. What is the difference between marketing, promotion, and advertising? We're going to talk about those things. And we're also going to be covering your tax obligation. Okay. When you put your name on a federal document like an EIN, okay, you are now obligated to pay taxes. Okay, so we're going to talk about the difference in entities. what taxes that you're going to be owing as that specific entity, what taxes you're going to be doing on a federal level and a state level and any other level that's applicable to you. Okay. And we're going to cover all of that in a full scope tax and bookkeeping type of thing. We're even going to talk about startup costs and how you can leverage balance sheets and other financial documents that you need in order to get funding when you're ready. Okay. So we're going to cover all of that. And then the other three stuff is business to business relationship, networking. How do you build other networks? How do you build wealth within your business, protect your business through insurance products or any other type of business insurance that you need to operate and protect your business? We do not want to be on Judge Judy's guide. We don't want to be on Judge Mathis. Okay. We need to protect our business. So we do not want to see nobody on the judge's shows. Okay. And we want you to get government contracts. Okay, so I can tell you right now, there are so many contracts floating around here right now looking for all kinds of stuff. And if you have something that they want to buy, you need to be in position to be able to get those contracts. And so we're going to be covering that. And if we don't cover that, I am in conversation. I got to get in conversation, matter of fact, with Caesar to talk about this government contracting course because it keeps coming up that, there's certain people that come out of this course that is already primed for government contracts. We just have to get that workflow and get you to the next step. But we will be covering some of that in this class on how do you get sponsorships, how do you get grants, how do you get all that stuff, okay? And is this stuff exciting to y'all? Is this exciting? You getting all this stuff for free, man. What? All right, cool. So let me tell you who's going to teach you all this stuff, okay? So you got me and my little pretty face right here, and then you also have my prestigious presenters. I will tell you that these guys are phenomenal. They have been with me for the past 8 years. Okay, I kid you not. They have been with me for the past 8 years. I met these folks well, I would say Sharon has been with me the last 3 years, but Ken, Leroy, and Ellie has been with me for the past 8 years. When I got the contract, my first state contract with the Housing Opportunity Commission of Montgomery County, I've actually asked them to come and be expert presenters. They are a master in their field, right? Ken actually does small business lending. He will tell you what the banks are saying about your credit. He will tell you what they're looking for and he will tell you how to get funding. Okay. And he will tell you when you're not supposed to get funding too. Sharon is going to talk to you about your relationship with money. She's the money coach. She's going to talk about other type of products, insurance products, all kinds of stuff to help protect yourself. Okay. Leroy is going to be covering how to network, how to use your brand. What does it mean? What does it translate? And those who are on Facebook who know Dr. Leroy McKenzie Jr., they know he is everywhere. He is a master of networking, okay? And Ellie Natoli is a master lead generator. That is her whole job. Her whole job is to talk about how do you funnel people in and actually sell to them. And I'm going to be covering all the other stuff about how you actually make a dollar. Okay, so that is the team that's in this specific cohort in class, and that's the team that actually presented for the first cohort of this year. All right, so here are the key values and outcome. Some of this I've already talked about earlier before, but so just kind of like lay your eyes on some of these. One of the ones I'm going to pull out of here is just to reiterate, how do you understand generating a revenue? That's really critical. And also understanding how to protect your business because theft and cybersecurity theft and attacks are on the rise. They are calling all the time. They're finding new ways to get to you. So you have to learn how to protect yourself and how to find and establish business to business relationships so that you can continue to grow your business and get in front of new networks. Those are the three things that you're going to take out of this class. Okay. Well, okay, so that's a great question. Okay, how will a Chapter 7 bankruptcy on your personal credit affect your borrowing power as a startup? Well, number one, I will say this. If you can show, excuse me, if you can show that you have turned yourself around in 2 years, and I'm pretty sure I've seen this before, you show that you have turned yourself around in 2 years and then your business is doing pretty good. And you can show in your cash flow statement a consistency of being able to manage your money through bookkeeping and all of that. There are ways that people like Ken can get you small business funding, even if it starts off with a small business credit card at a certain amount, and then maybe the next iteration will be a small loan. Okay. Does that answer your question, Kendrick? Because you got to show some consistencies. And we all understand that everybody doesn't have perfect credit. How you turn yourself around is really important, right? I can tell you, I'm not ashamed. When I came out of business school in 1988, I had bad credit because I was not taught good money management. I called myself trying to get a job coming out of business school, and I didn't know the importance of paying a loan. I didn't have a job, and I went into default. I went into default on my student loans, and it took me 5 years to get out of it. But I was still able to get a car. I was still able to get an apartment because I literally went 2 years, fixed my credit for 2 years, wrote some choice letters, talked to some people, and they allowed me to show them that I was serious. And pretty soon I got myself out of it. I'm going to teach you guys how to fix your credit, okay? And get over that stuff because it's not forever. They make you feel like it's forever because it's on your credit report, but your credit bureaus, all they do is collect the information. They don't even do anything with the information. They just put it on the system and they sit on it, and they allow businesses to pay them to give them a list of names. That's basically all they do. It is up to us to go into the credit bureau and demand that they correct certain things or update certain things on our record so then you can fix it, and then it's less and less, it matters less and less over time. Okay. So that is the way that you actually fix your credit. Okay. So let's talk about your final presentation because this is a thing. So after I've given you all this glorious stuff, right? And you're ready to do your presentation. You've gone through the 10 weeks, you listen to Ann and all these people, and you're ready to do your presentation. So why are we making you guys do that? And it's recorded too, right? Why are we making you do this? Because we want to make sure you understand the lessons. Did you really understand how the things that we taught you is applicable to your business? Are you able to use these tactics? If not some of them, most of them, or if none of them, we need to find out why that is. Did it change your trajectory of how you saw your business, right? And how you're going to articulate that? Not to mention, this is a great opportunity for a business pitch. It's a great opportunity for your speaking. It's a great opportunity just to get out there and get out your comfort zone and actually talk about what your business can do. And you hear yourself talk about how your business can do, right? And you want to build that confidence because nobody wants to see you looking all nervous and carrying on. So this is your opportunity to get all that nervousness out with me, right? You can talk to me online and you can do your presentation. I will tell you that all of the students will be required to attend both nights, okay? Because we don't want people coming in and they give their presentation and then they dip out, okay? And then they're not given the same attention. So all the students that are in this class are required to come both nights. We have 8 students on one night, 8 students on another night, and we're all going to hear everyone's presentation and learn from it and give nice critique and feedback to the person who's presenting so that we can help each other. And that is actually your graduation night. That is your final exam. It is literally your final exam. And because it's recorded, Caesar gets to look at it and say, oh man, this person needs this help, that person needs that help. And he can go back to the powers of be and say, hey, we need to find some programs for these people. Here's a list of people that came to the program, and here's a list of people who are on the waiting list who filled out the application. They need our help. And that is why we're making you go through this process. That is why we're making you fill out the applications the way we do, because we need to understand how we can still follow up with you. We do not want to leave anybody behind in this process. Okay, so don't feel like you're being left out. You're not being left out at all. And the most important thing And I said it for the fourth time now. We want to make sure you make some money. Okay. We want to make sure you're making money. We want to make sure you can get money. And we want to make sure that resources out there to help you continue to get money. Okay. So that is basically what this is about. So your keys of success is really, you just have to invest in yourself. Okay. You're going to have to carve out 10 weeks of your life. It is not a long time, guys. It is not a long time. 10 weeks go like that. Before you know, we started in November and it's already January. Okay. It is not a long time. It is only a long time if you make it difficult. So just invest in yourself and accept the fact that this is something that you need to do for your business. You got to have an open mind. Caesar and I, we know that there are hundreds of courses, YouTube videos, SCORE out there, Small Business Development Center, you name it, right? They all have stuff that they have shared with you over the years that you may have been researching and all that. Our information is not to take away from any of that. Our information is to add on to what you already know, or to validate that you're going in the right direction, or to help you understand, is running a business good for you right now? Do you need to take a step back and really understand what you have to do before you jump out there, right? Yes, ma'am, Ms. Tamiko, February through April. I'm going to put that date back up there again. Yes, ma'am. And you also have to really put the time in, okay? Your level effort really dictate what you put in. You know what they say, garbage in, garbage out. You don't do the work, you don't get the results you're looking for. Okay. And that is very true. I've had students come in here and put like one sentence on their business plan and thought that I was going to give them all the answers and all this feedback. I can only give you feedback if you are really willing to put your information and your ideas and your passion on that paper. When you go into the Google Classroom and you open up your business plan and you type in, this is what I'm trying to do, and you following the instructions, if you put in good quality work, I'm going to nitpick it. I'm going to say, hey, okay, you need to do this, and this. And you're getting all that for free. But if you go in there and you're not writing and you're not helping me understand how to help you, I am not going to look at your business plan. I'm going to say, nope, zero is done. Okay. We got a hot mic out there. I think that's Jazz. And okay. Going to go ahead and mute that. Okay. And so you have to put yourself in a mind space where, okay, I got to remove the distractions. I got to remove the noise and really focus on this important moment. Okay. This is a very important moment for you, these 10 weeks. Okay. I can't stress that enough because the information that you will gain in this class is something that is not being offered anywhere, but Austin Tech offers it. Okay. And I say that not to be conceited or anything, but if you go around and you go to all these other different classes that they make you pay $20, $30 for 2 hours, they're not giving you this level of information. They're not. So you have to surround yourself with people who is going to support you, that's going to help you understand this stuff. Maybe sit down and say, okay, Ann's paper says you need to do this and this and that. If they want to sit there and help you to get to the next level, that is wonderful. But you have to be the initiator. Okay. I can sit here all day on this video and encourage you to do it. But I put this slide up here because I've had students come in here and thought they just had a free ride. This is not a free ride. This is work for you and me working for you. Okay. So have fun in this class because I love to have fun. I like to joke and play, and we have fun in the class and we make it interesting. Questions are great, all this kind of stuff. Okay, I'm going to cover some of that question, Finda, in the next Q&A slide because I do cover that. Okay, so what is the value if you don't attend, right? So these classes again is fully sponsored. So from mentoring to the homework assignments to the handouts to the presenters, they're paying for it. I am facilitating it. It's free. Okay, so fill out the application so that you can at least be putting your hat in the ring. Okay, you're getting real time, live answers. Okay, that's all I can say about that. That's right. You get hands-on support. If you put the work in, I'm going to put the work in. If you're not putting the work in, I'm going to give it back to you and say, try again. Right? I'm not going to give up on you. I'm the kind of person, I'm going to call you on the phone and say, hey, what's going on? Okay, what do we need to do? Do we have to have a special session? Do we need to go over some stuff? No student left behind. Okay, and I try to keep that trend going. I think only one time that I've ever had at least three students drop out of the class and everybody else did it. Okay, at least once or twice that I had at least three. But most of the time, I have everybody graduating except maybe one person. Okay. And that's because either death in the family or they got really sick at the end and they just couldn't finish. Okay. Now, if you are not able to get in this class, let's say you go through this process and you did not get selected, but you still want to go through this class, there is a way that you can still self-pay for the class if you really want to be in this cohort with the rest of it. And why you want to be in the cohort with the rest of the team? Because you want to be in the room with other like-minded businesses like yourself, so that number one, you never know who's in the room who has what you need, or maybe you have what they need, right? You never know who you're going to meet. The information that's shared, you may need that timing might be there. And let's say you don't get selected. Well, there is a cost for the class, unfortunately, but I'm offering a 30% coupon. So you can use a coupon, you can still join the class and you can sign up. And if you need a payment plan, then you let me know, you call me, we will talk about this payment plan. Okay. If you cannot pay for the class at all, but you still want to have a course, something like this, I am developing a online self-paced course that is significantly less. And you can do the self-paced course and it will still have all of the different kits. It will have the forms, the checkout, the checklist and all the things that I'm sharing. The only difference is you will not have the live presentations and you probably won't get certain handouts because we're having live conversations. Out of those conversations, I may go and retrieve certain handouts for you to use. Those are the only things that you're going to be missing, but you'll have pre-recorded sessions, you'll have all those things. If you're not able to do the self-paced course, there's a downloadable kit that I'm putting together for those people who just want the kit. They don't want to do the course at all. They don't want to pay or anything like that. I'm putting together a special kit that's going to have forms and templates and things like that, and also instructions so that you still have that same quality. It's just you will have to sit down and go through the kit. Okay. So if you want to be notified of any of the things we're doing, so webinars, events, special sessions that are free and stuff like that, go to my website and hit subscribe so you can subscribe to my website so that we can keep you abreast of all that. The newsletters have other information in there like other people's events, sponsors, grants, other small business opportunities, vending, procurement, all that stuff that's coming out in newsletters. So if you're interested in just being on that free membership, it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. Going to the website, you can just go there and say, I want to subscribe. I can add you as a member. It doesn't cost you anything. And the newsletter will come to you with the information until, you see something that's interests you, you can, take advantage of it at that point. Okay, so somebody asked a question about how full is the upcoming cohort. So right now, last cohort, we had an overflow of people who were, I'll start from the beginning. We had some people that were selected for cohort 2. And in my email that I sent out about a couple weeks ago, asked those same people, are they still interested in their seat? And only half of them responded, which means we have more seats and we still have more time. However, we're picking businesses that really can truly actually do this course. And we are still looking at, again, having another cohort. The timing of that cohort has not been determined only because we're just finishing this first iteration year of the cohort. That is something that Caesar and I have to have a discussion about when the next cohort. But if it does come, more than likely, the registration for that cohort is going to come up probably around August or September time so that I can have a vacation in the summer and I can take a little break because I've been doing this class since last year before Thanksgiving all the way up until this point. So the summertime, I'll be on vacation and then we're going to pick it back up excuse me, in September, October time. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question on that. So these are some photos of some of the students that were when I had my office before COVID. I actually have a whole office, and as you can see, there's a class there. I've had some people who graduated. They're going to get a certificate of completion, and then when COVID came, I went online, and I've been online ever since. And I'm trying to get back to my brick and mortar. But as you can see, the classes they range anywhere from 5 people to 15 to 20 people. It's a really good cohort, and I like to keep it that size so I can give that person individualized attention, right? I'm going to be looking at every single activity. I'm going to be reading every single business plan. Okay, so I want to make sure that I'm giving you the same attention that I gave all these students who came into the class, and this is just a few of them. Okay, so let's go through the questions. Okay, so these are frequently asked questions. Um, what happens if you miss the registration date? Okay, so unfortunately, you're at risk of not receiving the weekly course. Now, registration date means if you're selected for the class and I say I need you to go into the Google Classroom by a certain date and you miss it, um, you will potentially not get your coursework on time, or you will be a week behind everybody else, right? So we want to make sure that before the class starts, if you have trouble with Google getting into the classroom, that you let me know immediately so we can get online and I can help you get access. Okay, so we don't want you to get dropped by the course. If you get dropped by the course and you don't respond and you don't return my call and I can't get a hold of you, I'm going to put somebody else in that seat. Okay. It is that serious. Okay. So make sure you do not miss no deadlines. Okay. I see somebody's hand up. So you want to go ahead and ask a question real quick? Let me see who got the hand up. Miss Tamiko.
Hi, Ann.
Yes, ma'am.
I noticed a lot of the folks in the pictures were females, and I'm wondering if maybe that's also because last year, unfortunately, um, a lot of women were cut out of the workforce, the federal workforce. And
That's an interesting question. I for some reason I have a tremendous amount of women in my course. I find that the guys very few. They are more about fast. I want money fast. I want money now. I don't feel like going through the process. Where women are more methodical. So we like a little bit of structure. So I find that for some reason there's more women. There's like 95% women and maybe one or two or three dudes, In the class that I have for the cohort, I have 3 males and all women. The rest of them women. And it's been like that for years. I don't know why. I advertise to everybody, but for some reason, I have more women than I have men. I would love more men in the class, but their mindset is different. So I have to kind of maybe tailor a class that is more high pace and high return. And I think I would get more men in the class.
right.
Yeah, definitely for sure. That's an excellent question. Okay, any questions on the getting dropped situation? Okay. Nothing heard. Okay. All right, let me get back on this slide over here. Okay. Okay, so somebody asked this question. If you cannot join the February class, will there be another chance? Yeah, we are working on having another chance. Caesar is very motivated about how we're going to have more cohorts. In all transparency, this is the first year that Prince George's County Economic Development Center has been working with me on this level. I'm pretty sure they had programs before in the past, but this is my first contract with them. And so having this first successful one and a second one is going to lead to more classes. So please make sure that you subscribe to my website so you can be notified when the class comes out and the registration come out. I do have all of your emails as well. And we'll definitely let you know through that as well if you're not on the website. Okay. How can I protect my business idea? So again, every application that comes in is going to agree to a non-disclosure and confidentiality. I do not share business plans with anyone. What we talk about is highly confidential. I wouldn't want nobody to share my stuff. So I want to make sure that your stuff is protected. And I reiterate that on day one of the class when they come in there, because I want people to respect each other and also to learn how to understand how to respect other businesses going from the class, because we don't want them going out into the world and they're not being ethically conscious of other people's business, right? So that will be, so Kendra, that question for acceptance will be like if you close on the 6th, it will probably be that next Wednesday or Thursday that people will get the official email. And more than likely, once I talk to someone, sometimes I talk to people twice and kind of verbally also told them verbally as well. So you would definitely know for sure. Okay. Pretty much talked about this one. The reason why it's 10 weeks long, because we want to make sure we have ample time to cover all of the topics of the business plan, which is what we're going to be covering. Course assignments is a requirement. It is hands down, bar none. You don't do the assignments, you're automatically dropped. Okay. And that is from day one. Okay. That is from day one. If you don't do the homework assignments, you're dropped from the class, because we need people to that's the whole reason why you're in the class, is so that you can do the assignment and learn the business and learn the launch and all that. If you're coming in and you're kind of just sitting around and you're not communicating, you're not participating, you're not even trying to do the assignment, I'm going to call and find out what's going on and see if we can help. And if it doesn't work, then hey, might have to kind of make another move. So please make sure you do that. Now, we do have makeup assignments. I do allow people to send their assignments in late within reason. Okay. If there's a research assignment that we have, I may give you 2 weeks to do the research assignment. Or if you happen to be late because there's some serious death in the family, you can do it like a day or two later. But I grade papers that following Monday night. I mean, not that Monday night, that Tuesday night. So if you turn it in Sunday, if I happen to be off that day on a Monday, I'm going to grade your assignment. Or if class is that night and I haven't got a chance to, I will grade it that Tuesday so I can get it back to you and you can update your assignment. Because you can't do the next assignment until I actually grade it and give it back to you. You wouldn't be able to edit it. So it's very important that you are able to not only attend the weeks, but you also got to do the homework assignments. And they're not really hard, guys. It's really not that hard. It's just sitting down and taking the time to actually do the activities. Okay. Yes, they're all graded, guys, and it is your overall performance is reported in my report. I do a comprehensive report that talk about your attendance. Okay, so he's going to know every time you miss a class. Now, I've had people miss like 1 day, 2 days. You don't want to miss more than 2 days because that's a lot that you're going to miss. You definitely, absolutely do not want to miss a presenter, a live presenter. Okay, because when they get on there and they start talking about taxes and funding and credit and all that kind of stuff, you're going to want to ask questions and get your answer right then and there, right? So you do not want to miss when a presenter comes, okay? And we do ask people to get on camera to make it a little bit more interacting. For the homework assignment event, I would say for the first couple of weeks, you'll probably spend like an hour because you're really just kind of thinking. And some people like to go a little deeper. Some people spend 2 hours. But weeks 4 through 6, when you have to do your industry demographic analysis, you're going to be spending a little bit more time on that. Maybe 3 or 4 hours, a couple of days a week. I don't know. It's not going to be that intense. It all depends on what part of the industry that you're focused on and how much information that you're going to be adding. Okay. I would say spend an hour or two on it, maybe every other day. And if you get stuck, that's when you email me or you send me a message in the classroom and say, "Hey, Ann, I really need to talk to you." And I'll pick up the phone and I'll call you, okay, and talk to you and then help you through wherever you feel like you're a little stuck. Okay. So we don't want you to get stuck. Again, if you miss too many classes, you're going to be dropped. So I've had people miss one here, one there, and they were still able to keep up with the assignments and they were able to still like let me know, "Hey, Ann, I'm gonna be in a class for like an hour, but I'm gonna have to drop for whatever. Is it gonna be recorded?" No, but they still caught up with their assignments. But if you're coming and you miss like 3 weeks in a row, you're pretty much the whole quarter, you just missed 1/4 of the class already. In 3 weeks, you didn't miss 1/3. Okay. So you're not going to be able to catch up in those 3 weeks unless you like trying to kill yourself to catch up. And I don't want you to have to do that. If anything, I'm going to find out what's going on and see if there's an option, a different option. And if the different option don't work, then I'm saying, well, I might have to let you go from the class. When the next one come around, you can try again, right? So that's what you want to do. Please make sure that if I'm reaching out to you, that you call me back. If I send you an email me back, right? Communicate with me. If it's a no show, no call, I don't hear from you, I'm going to consider you dropped from the class. Especially if it's week 1 and 2 and I haven't heard from you and you're not in the class, I'm going to get on the phone of my list of people and I'm going to call the person and say, do you want a seat in the class? And your seat will be gone. Okay, so you don't want to do that. Okay, not saying that you will, but I don't want you to do that. Do you have to do the final presentation? And do I have to be recorded? Yes. only me and Caesar at EDC will be seeing your recorded presentation. It is not going to be up on YouTube or any public site. It is only for me and Caesar, and maybe Caesar will share with his powers of be, meaning his managers, that's going to help with future programming and things of that nature. But your presentation will not be publicly shown anywhere. Okay. There will be testimonials that I will ask you to do before your presentation, which, I will use for promotions to help other students understand your experience in the class. But outside of that, your final presentation is confidential only to me, the students in the class, and Caesar. That's it. It will not be posted anywhere, and I will be the only one able to record the session. Okay. So again, we have the website. If after you've heard all of this wonderful stuff that I told you today and you're excited about the possibility of being in this class, please go to my website, go to our services and click on ALSTNTEC PGC EDC student registration and put your registration in. This tells me that you have read the code of conduct, that you understand the participation in the course and you are ready to move forward. That gives me permission to call and interview you. So after this session, everyone who has filled out an application, I'm going to call you personally and speak to you about your business. I want to understand who you are. I want you to understand who I am and make sure that we are both in alignment. And then when we're finished all of this, me and Caesar are going to get together and we're going to make the tough decision. I wish that we could do a virtual class that includes everyone, but the budget only allows for a certain amount of people in this class. So I want everybody to understand that part. Just because we have people now that are sitting in the seat does not mean that you won't sit in the seat. So don't discount putting your application in because of that. Okay. We are going to put people on a waiting list for the next cohort who will have first dibs. Soon as it comes out, we're going to say, hey, we have your application. You don't have to do the Q&A anymore. Do you still want to be in cohort, 27-1? And if you say yes, then we're going to put you in the seat. Okay. So make sure you put it in there. Here is the course requirements again about the criteria. You must be a U.S. citizen, live in Maryland, be over age 21 and years older. That application, I see somebody said they applying tonight. That's exciting. Remember, it's not November 7th, but we're going to be making decisions that following week. So that means I will be calling people starting probably tomorrow all the way up into the next orientation. We do have one more orientation next Wednesday. Okay. So between now and the next orientation, everybody who has filled out application will get a call from me, and then we will try to meet each other in the middle and have a brief conversation. Okay. And this is the course schedule again, Monday the 16th. Now, the next session for the one, so if you still want to be in this class, and let's say you self-paying or whatever, the next class is February the 17th. So there will be a Monday night class and a Tuesday night class, and it will be running concurrently. So if you want to be in this PGC course and you want to do the Monday night course, let me know. And you say, hey, I don't care if I don't get in class. I want to pay for this class to get in because I want to get in this class. You can still do the Monday night. Just let me know. And, we'll add you to the Monday night class. Or if you want to only do Tuesdays or whatever, just let me know what you want to do. I'm willing to accommodate, but there is a February 17th start date for the next iteration outside of the PGC, just so that you guys know. And also 2 nights for the presentation, which means that we're going to have 8 people on one night, 8 on another, and everybody's required to attend. Got to have a laptop or a desktop. Make sure you use Windows. If you have a Mac, make sure you use Google Chrome so that you don't have no problems getting to your assignment and editing and submitting it. Okay. And the first night of class, I'm going to go over how you're going to submit your assignments. You'll also receive some instructions on how to get to the Google Classroom. You'll get your first guide. You'll get some handouts off the bat, and then we're going to hit the ground running with all the other stuff, right? Now, any other questions? That is really like the exciting news right there, guys. That's the exciting news. That's the exciting news. All right. Okay, so what's the cost for the self-pay? Okay, so the self-pay class, okay, so Kendra, so all transparency, the class is $18.50 for the class because you're getting all 10 weeks live, the whole shebang, right? But the 30% takes off $555. So you're only paying $1,400 and you can do a payment plan. So I have PayPal later. And if there's a different payment plan outside of that, because you don't want to apply for PayPal now or PayPal later, I mean, you can call me and we can talk about your specific payment plan. As long as you're staying true to your payment plan, we'll talk about it and set something up. Okay, because we don't know, we don't really have money just sitting around like that all the time, but you still want to take advantage of it. Okay. Yes, ma'am. I see somebody has a hand up. Go ahead, Anithia.
I just have a quick question about the registration form. I'm not sure if I filled out the correct form. So I went to the website. I filled out it shows as a jot form in my email confirmation. Was that the correct form?
Yes. Yeah. So in the jot form, there are 2 forms. The first one was a Q&A to come to here tonight. So that is the one you wanted to fill out for tonight. The second form is when you're saying you want to actually register or apply to register for the course. And that one will it'll look almost similar to the first, but then it'll have all this stuff about code of conduct, the participant as a student, how you're participating. That is the actual registration to say, yes, I want to participate in this class and I want to be considered an interview. That's what you're filling out. And this way you don't have to fill it out later, you don't have to fill it out later. It's already filled out. Okay. That was a great question. Okay. Yeah, don't get scared of those coins. Don't get scared of that. This class is a lot. It is a lot. Okay, Mark, he's looking. I don't know. He's like looking like he has a question. Great overview and information. Yeah. Anytime you guys have to think about it, you want further information, I can put my email here in the chat. Again, you can reach out to Caesar and ask him if he has any other type of information in terms of programs that they have as well. If you feel like you need a different scope of services that you want to go over with that I can provide, we can have a conversation about that without, going through the official consultation, because the whole point of this information session is for you to get this information and determine if this is the best thing that you want to invest your time in, right? So we put it out there to let you guys make the decision on that.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, as a man, we do want to win quickly, but some of us are also very methodical as well.
Yeah.
Just wanted to add that.
Yeah, I'm so glad you mentioned that because you guys are my husband, he's methodical too. It's got to be a certain way, and I think part of it too is it has to do it has everything to do with the way that the course is structured as well. I do know that when I go to other courses that have a lot of gentlemen in it. It is very high paced, high return of investment, high money topics. It is more toward that as opposed to the other level of structure and processes. I find that women are more prone to hearing the process so they can determine things on their own versus men are just ready for, they like, oh yeah, I got the process. Let's go for the end result. They want the end result. Yeah. So any questions at all? Any comments? It's pretty quiet out there.
I know this has been amazing. A lot of great information. I'm gonna say for me, I was a federal worker that was laid off, and then I started trying to revamp the business because I kind of part-timed it once I took on that contract once I took on the contract and then the position with the government, I wasn't expecting to be laid off. So now I'm trying to look at what I was doing versus the way business is now. That was part of what got my attention to look into this because the way I did business back when you and I first met, I was running around with my little purple laptops, turning any conference room into a training class,
Mm,
teaching a lot of technology, doing a lot of technology training, where now a lot of things have changed, and realizing that if you see how bad the job market is, that the best option is to go ahead and reopen your business and market your skills in a different direction, because that's the way to guarantee income versus waiting for somebody to say yes to a job with the job market as flooded as it is. So that's what got my attention. I appreciate the overview, a lot of great information. And I'm hoping I get selected for this because I really do need it. And because I got to learn what I don't know and unlearn some things that I thought I knew, and go from
yeah.
there.
Yeah, 100%, Crystal. I could tell you right now, the technology has changed so drastically, and people are feeling that AI is going to take their jobs and things like that. But the truth of the matter is, I think between COVID and this iteration of the administration and what happened last year, opened the eyes of a lot of people that we are too dependent on just being in as an employee, that we forgot that all the years we spent learning our skills, understanding our knowledge, that we thought we were just stuck in this 9 to 5 thing, that this is the only way that we can use our skills and someone is willing to see the value in what we offer. And having another way to generate income through a business or just through consultation or just something allows you to get your power back, right?
Yeah,
That's what I learned too, is that I don't want to be in a silo where I feel like that's the only thing that I have going for me is a job with a lousy pension and health benefits. I want to generate my own personal wealth. I want to have my own health benefits that I know I can afford and it's good coverage, right? And I want to be able to buy the things that I want without stress, without worrying about if my bills are not paid or things of that nature. And yeah, I still work full time and I do this too because I choose to do it. But the moment that I don't want to do the 9 to 5, I know exactly what I need to do to make this business work for me. So that's the whole beauty of owning a business. 20, 30 years ago, when people used to quit their jobs and go straight into a business, understood that. They understood that the skills they used in the business can be, I mean, in the workplace could be used to start a business, and they were very lucrative. And so I love using the mindset of those who were 20, 30 years ago. And that's why I choose the traditional business plan, simply because it forces you in a good way to understand what you're missing in your business, right? And I had to figure that out. I would tell you real quickly, when I was doing my business, I had my proposal. I went to a couple of people and I pitched my idea, and they thought it was all great. And they told me flat in my face, I do not want to be the first person to invest. And I'm like, what? And they're like, well, we would love to do it, but if somebody else invests in you, then I will invest. Well, you know what? I am no longer a slave to that. Somebody's got to do something first. This business, you have to be able to articulate the value the way that I articulated it to you tonight. Okay.
Yeah.
You have to get that. You have to tap into that inner deep emotion that people feel generally about what they want to do in their life. And that's what this course is teaching everyone. I can't take this knowledge with me, and I am not like a top professional, but what I am is somebody who cares deeply about the small business, and I do care deeply that we use our skills to the fullest. And if we're not using it to the fullest, then we're just going to school and paying the university's money for a piece of paper. Like all these papers I have up on my wall. I'm just paying for nothing if I don't use my skills to the fullest, right? Yes, Mr. Kendrick. I love your questions, by the way. He's on here. Go ahead, Kendrick.
Greetings
You
to
on mute?
everyone.
There you go.
So, Ms. Austin, thank you very much for presenting this information and opportunity to become educated in this area. So, if accepted into your class, what am I expected to be ready to do next? What would be my next step? This, I would be hopefully becoming a new business owner. So, what would I be expected to have under my belt or ready to do next?
You know, as we say when we tell you to come to our house for a barbecue, just bring your stomach. Okay. We're not expecting you to eat anything, to drink anything before you come to my home and enjoy the meal, right? And that's the same way in this class. I just want you to come as you are. Come as you are, where you are in your business, because one, we're really going to be covering for the first week, I would say, yeah, for the first week or two, is really all going to be about your mindset. And it's going to be about understanding some foundational things. It's going to get you to think. I just want you to come with an empty mind and say, you know what? I understand what I understand about my business. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to open my mind to say, this is what I'm going to learn next. I'm not even looking for you to say, hey, here's my business plan and this is what I'm working on. Nope, none of that stuff. Okay. You're going to come in saying, this is the new stuff. Okay. Anne has me doing an activity. And let me think about how I'm going to answer this question and answer it honestly. Just be honest, be transparent, be upfront with what you want to do. And that's right, Tamiko. I just need you to be a sponge. That's really all I need you guys to do. When the activities happen, participate, be able to ask a question. And if you're afraid to ask it on camera, you can always call me up and ask me your question directly. There is no pressure to be keeping up with the Joneses or be in a certain position because somebody else is running a business and you are first time. Everybody is on a level that is pretty much straight. Everybody's on the same level. There is no differentiating anyone in the class at all, right? So yeah, come with your empty stomach and be ready to eat. That's all I'm saying. Be ready to eat. That's how I say. And when I give you that steak and that crab legs, I got you. I got you. Okay. All right, I got you. Okay, great. That's a wonderful question. Thank you. Any other questions? See, I like to have fun on these things. See, I got the right one. I got the right one. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, and I want to
Okay.
give a quick shout out to Caesar because I see he's still hanging on. They do have some great classes, so you guys want to make sure you stay in
I
contact with the
appreciate that.
organization because
Thank you, Chris.
Caesar, I was in the this summer in June, I was in the class where the young lady taught the WordPress course.
Yeah,
Oh,
Website Essentials.
nice.
I was in the WordPress course.
I knew you looked familiar. I
I was
knew it. I knew
Yeah,
it.
I ran
Crystal's
into you at
everywhere.
Bowie State.
Okay,
When you were
okay.
at Bowie State, I ran into you. I emailed
Yo.
you, but you didn't reply to my email, but that's okay. I'm not gonna hold that against you.
Hey, email me again. I
I
promise you I got
but
you this time.
but
Email me
they
again.
always have some great courses. So if with Ann doing this, and this is just me speaking up because I was able to take a class with the organization over the summer, it's always, for those that don't know Ann, I happen to know Ann because of another association, so it was very cool to see her here. But they always have some great courses. The people they bring in are always bring value, and you tend to get more food on your plate than what you can really eat at the time that it's being served to you. So you leave full and got a doggy bag. But since I'm gonna use Ann's food analogy, but just a shout out to the organization,
Oh,
that
thank
they
you.
do they bring in people that are going to bring value to you as a business owner. The class I took this summer was really great. I was able to go back and take that course and make some differences with my website using WordPress because of a lot of stuff I learned and didn't understand before I did that. So just giving a shout for the organization, because some people may have never heard of them, may have never experienced them, and I've been fortunate enough to know the organization and know Ann, so I know the value that both bring. So just wanted to put that out there.
Oh, well, thank you, Crystal. Just in all transparency, Crystal is a friend of another associate of mine who I worked with before. She is wonderful. I met her in person when she came out to help me for the pretty party. And the pretty party was how I had all these women come to a party that I hosted where I gave away gifts, I gave away money. It wasn't a business event, it was actually a personal coming out event for me and sharing with people who I felt wanted to feel beautiful again. And she came out and she helped out with the table, the decorations. I mean, things that I didn't even know that she was helping, she was just doing. And that's the type of relationship building that I want you all to experience as well, because not only did I get to meet Crystal and she helped me, but some of the business students who were in my classes also had tables there. They made money there. That's the kind of relationship that I like to have with not just my students, but also with other business, to say, hey, I'm having an event. Why don't you come on and help me out? And we help each other out. And that's the community, at least that I'm trying to establish with the courses and all of that stuff too. So definitely take advantage of PGC's courses. Caesar, I think it's called Small Business Grow. Take advantage of that. If you see a class, definitely try to go to the Procurement 360 event that he has. I think there's also some other events that I'm going to shoot out in my newsletter that I saw on LinkedIn yesterday. And then also be sure to sign up, because I am bringing back the webinars and the roundtables that I have that I was doing pre-COVID. Because, now that I've had the time to kind of like revamp a lot of stuff, and I had to deal with a family death and, person who's ill, I'm now kind of spinning some of those things back up that my time is being freed up now. But yeah, I mean, any ideas you guys may have, or any suggestions or recommendations that you think that this course could use, let us know. We will love to hear any suggestions that you may have, maybe something in the class or the course that we talked about in this description that you feel like is missing. We would love to hear if there's any ideas that you want us to implement going forward. I'm always asking for those type of things as well. So yeah, that was excellent. So who else is out here that have questions? Let me see. Do you talk about social media? Absolutely, right? Um, Even I have to now get on Instagram, not TikTok, because that thing's crazy. But I mean, even I have to look at social media. So yeah, to your question, Yvette, her question is, do you talk about social media aspects? Absolutely. It is critical. That is one of the reasons why a lot of these businesses failed, because they didn't have a virtual presence, right? I was lucky to be able to stay in business even through COVID, because I had a virtual presence from the beginning. And then I went from virtual to a hybrid where I had an office with staff, and I was doing virtual also. I was doing a magazine, I was also doing a podcast, right? And when COVID hit and all those businesses didn't know what to do, they didn't have no virtual presence, they had no Facebook account, they had no place on LinkedIn, they just did not know how to reach their customers, and their business dried up and they had to close the doors. And for me, specifically, I actually held on to my office and my staff for 9 whole months trying to see if it would blow over, and it just didn't happen. So, like many businesses, I had to give up my office, I had to give up my staff. It was sad for me to have to do that, but I ended up going back to the virtual world and I picked up some business, and then it carried me all the way through COVID up until 2024. And then I took a year off to take care of some family business, and now I'm back. So that's how you bounce back as a business, you know? Can you create a business page? Okay. So is that like Crystal on a website? Yeah,
On
you can
link,
create
no, what you can do on
on
LinkedIn,
LinkedIn. Yeah, yeah,
she
she
mentioned
said.
LinkedIn that she has a personal one.
Yeah.
On LinkedIn, you can create a page
Mm-hmm.
for your
For your business.
business. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say this to y'all about the website. It is important to have a web page that at least has basic information on it. But if
Mm-hmm.
you're not tech savvy, use Wix. Please use Wix.
Yeah, use Wix. Wix
If
is a
you're not
wonderful
tech
site.
savvy, WordPress will cause you more gray hair. You'll buy stock in L'Oreal or whoever you buy hair dye from. Um,
Yes, yes.
yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, Crystal is not lying. WordPress used to be the thing back in the day, right? Um, but WordPress takes a lot of configuring, okay? And they use third-party apps that is notorious for nickel and diming the services and the functions. But if you know how to use Microsoft Word and PowerPoint, Wix is an easy thing to use. My website is 100% Wix. You can, for the premium that you can get the e-commerce, you can get the email marketing, you can get all of the things that you can use for your website for nothing. And on top of that, they give you a free domain for the first year. And you can pay monthly if you wanted to, if you don't want to do like a yearly or 2 or 3 year subscription. So get Wix.
And Wix
It is
now
really,
lets you
really
have multiple
awesome.
domains. Wix used to not allow you to have multiple domains, and that was the
Mhm.
reason a lot of people were in WordPress. But now Wix has that same, Wix has more in it for the person that's a beginner.
Yeah.
WordPress sounds good, it looks good, it's
But
not
it
worth
ain't
the
good.
headache.
It's not good.
It's not
It's
worth the
not
headache.
good. It's not good at all. I'm gonna tell you, if you can stay with, and the other thing about WordPress is that if you are with Network Solutions, they try to hold your domains hostage. So if you wanted to move your domain from Network Solutions, which is primarily on WordPress, to someplace like Wix, they will not allow you to do that. Wix will not take Network Solutions domains, and they try to hold it hostage sometimes. I still have 1 or 2 domains that are still with Network Solutions, and I really wish that I can just get rid of Network Solutions altogether and just go 100% Wix, but it's just really hard to do that. Yeah, website that website solutions is a mess, right? Um, the other thing about social media that I would say is one of the things we talk about in marketing is effective posting, not just posting just to be posting, right? There has to be some sort of purpose and strategy in which you are posting your content. And it works for me if I actually take the time and do it. But if I don't have the time, then that's where the struggle comes in. You're seeing people like constantly post, and some of it is good, some of it's business, and it looks like they're getting a lot of traction. Sometimes they're able to pay somebody to do that content. But what we teach in the class is before you even write one letter or one little post, you have to understand exactly how your product and services is going to relate to that person in that split second. They only have a split second. You know, you guys are on the phone, we're all on the phone and we're scrolling like crazy, looking at reels and shorts and all this kind of stuff. You got to be able to stop them from scrolling. So, in order to do that, you got to be able to understand how that post and that content is going to relay that information to that person and get that message across in the shortest amount of time. And that's where the marketing, the promotion, the advertising, all of that stuff we cover in the class, and how you leverage that on social media so that you're not spending money just posting ads or trying to do stuff on Instagram and you're not getting no traction from anyone, right? And that's one of the things I got to do. I got to start putting quality posts on Instagram and LinkedIn I get most of my customers from LinkedIn, and it seems now I get a lot from Nextdoor now. So Nextdoor, people from Nextdoor are seeing my posts and kind of communicating to me. But most of the business I got thus far has been from LinkedIn, word of mouth, or through an event that I've had that was word of mouth through either LinkedIn or Nextdoor. Yep, Nextdoor. People are always looking like for jobs, they're looking for all kinds of stuff. But you got to be careful because it is, it is a platform that is primarily to understand what's going on in the neighborhood. And then they have a platform section that is just for like promoting to other businesses where other businesses can converse. So you got to kind of be careful about how and when and how often you post a business post on Nextdoor, if that makes sense, right? But the rest of them, you just got to understand the purpose of the social media and then tailor that content for that social media. And understanding your services will help you do that. So hopefully that was helpful. Yeah. Anything else in the chat? Okay. Well, I am around if you guys have anything. It is so great to have y'all tonight and hanging in there with me and asking all of these wonderful questions. I really appreciate you guys spending this hour and a half with me and listening to me talk. And hopefully, we will be on the phone really soon to have a conversation and get you guys set up for the next iteration of your business journey. That's really what me and Caesar's desire is for you guys to be able to get the things you're looking for. And we're here to answer any questions you have and to help you. Okay. And I will hang around if anybody else have any questions. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Marie. Thank you. All right, Mark. Thank you so much. You have a question, Mark? Yes,
No,
sir.
I'm saying thank you. Have a good
Oh, well,
evening.
you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate
All
this.
righty. Take
I'm gonna
care.
Thank
hop
you
on
so much. Have a good
the
evening.
website after I take care of my dog. Thank
Already
you, Ann.
submitted.
All right. Take care of your
Okay.
dog,
Have a
Yvette.
good
Thank
night, everybody.
you.
Take care.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Good night. Thank you, guys.
Thanks
All
again,
right.
Sam.
All
Good
righty.
night.
Bye bye. All righty. Kendra, you still hanging in there?
Yes, thank you very much. I was trying to type in the chat. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to at least interviewing with you and hopeful that I'll get chosen for the cohort.
I don't have no doubt. I don't have no doubt.